Alright everyone, welcome back.
エミヤ君が信用できないって言うならこの話はなかったことにするけど。
だそうだ。どうする小僧。お前器を試されてるぞ。
Lancer looks at me trying to suppress his laughter. My answer is... I don't mind, but under one condition. Alright. This is where we save already. Alright, I have a condition. We have to accept this offer. Even if he is an enemy, his argument is correct. Tosaka and I alone can't beat Caster. But there should be some hope if we have Lancer's help. However...
わかった。お前の言い分は信じる。けど条件付きだ。キャスターを倒すために手を貸してもらうし、俺たちもお前を信用する。その代わり
なんだ？俺のマスターを教えろってか？
違う。仲間だからって気安く遠坂には近寄るな。
The air freezes. Lancer becomes speechless as if he has completely caught off guard.
なるほどなるほど。そりゃそうだ。俺のマスターなんぞよりそっちの方が何倍も重要だよな、坊主。
I'm glad Lancer understands. He starts laughing as if it's the funniest thing he's heard.
なんだよ、悪いか。言っとくけど、遠坂はやらないからな。
まさか悪くなんかね。むしろ見直したところだ。
I like how Tosaka went completely red just now.
いや、いいね、お嬢ちゃん。坊主、あんたにぞっこんじゃないか。
何言ってんのよあんた。私とシロはそんなんじゃないわよ。そう、私たちはただの協力関係なんだから。
そうか？
なんかムカつくわねあんた。何よその見透かしたような顔は。ほらシロもなんか言いなさいよ。私たちはただの協力関係だって。なんか言いなさいよバ
カ。I love it.
これじゃ本当に私たちが付き合ってるって。
だから本当も何もとっくに出来上がってんだよお前たち。傍から見てる俺でさえわかるのに当の本人たちがごまかしてるだな。ああ、こりゃこの先も大変だぞ少年。
Lancer makes a sympathetic gesture.
まあ、遠坂が大変なのはもう分かってるから。
I reply with a sour look to let him know that there's no problem.
おう、そりゃ頼もしい。じゃあ俺もそれなりに気を使ってジョーちゃんと付き合おう。だがまあからかうと面白いジョーちゃんなんだな。道中楽しませてはもらうぜ。それぐらいの見返りが構わねえだろ。
分かった。その線でいこう。キャスターを倒すまであんたの力を借りる。
決まりだな。じゃあまあとりあえず握手と。
Lancer comes up to me unarmed and shakes my right hand that I awkwardly put out. There are worrying factors, but we were able to obtain a reliable ally. All that's left is...
このカッタが来た。いいわよ。あんたたちなんてこっちから願い下げよう。こうなったら私一人でキャスターをとっちめるんだから。
How can I calm the roused Tosaka down? Well, she is a handful. We walk in the forest at night. Although we don't know what his intentions are, having Lancer's cooperation now means we don't have to stay at the castle. Lancer must have taken a liking to Tosaka as he keeps messing with her and getting hit by her.
ちょっとあんたね、ちゃんと自分のマスターがいるんでしょ。 ならおとなしくしてなさいよ。キャスターを倒したら敵同士になるんだし、話なんかしてもしょうがないでしょ。作戦会議以外はみんな無駄口よ、無駄口。
なんだ、敵になるからって話はなしか？見かけによらず余裕がないんだな。相手が敵であろうと気が合うなら膝交えて語り明かすってのが情だろうに。
いつの時代の人間よ、あんた。
I like how Lancer's just so carefree.
そういうね、明日には殺すけど今日は親友だなんてのは今時流行らないの。やるとなったら徹底してやらないと相手にも失礼じゃない。
はあ、そりゃまたつまんねえ世の中になったもんだ。
Lancer never learns. I feel like they've been repeating the same kind of conversation for a while now.
それよりランサー、自分の役割きちっと分かってるんでしょうね。
ああ、梅雨払いは任せておけ。お前たち二人でキャスターとそのマスターと戦うんだろ。俺の役目はアーチャーの相手だ。最悪セーバーもどうにかしなくちゃならんが、まあ抑えるだけなら問題ない。
Lancer speaks objectively. He isn't even scared of fighting both Saber and Archer at the same time. Come to think of it, Saber told me when we were training in the dojo. She said Lancer's the best among the servants when it comes to just surviving. She praised him, saying that he had excellent agility and plentiful combat experience, and that he would be an impregnable defense if he went into defense. He must have fought many battles from disadvantageous positions when he was alive. The aloof man must be a heroic spirit who ran through the jaws of death many times and survived.
それはいいけどな。敵はアーチャーとセイバーだけじゃない。キャスターの下にはアサシンもいるんだろう。なら最悪あんたの相手は3人ってことになるぞ。
ああ、そりゃやべえな。あの野郎は苦手だ。できれば1対1でもやり合いたかねえ。あの手のやつは遠くから仕留めるに限るが、まあその心配は不要だな。アサシンは教会には現れない。
どうしてそう断言できるのよ。キャスターが竜道寺に戻らないなら門番としてアサシンだって呼び戻すんじゃないの？
いや、アサシンはキャスターが呼び出したサーバントだが、それゆえに制約がある。奴はあの場所そのものに呼び出された英霊だ。竜道寺を離れることはできんし、何よりキャスターが呼び戻さんだろう。あれはキャスターがマスターに黙って独断で召喚したサーバントだ。マスターが教会にいる以上は隠し通すし、おいそれと竜道寺を手放すこともできまい。
竜道寺を手放せない。それってつまり
聖杯の召喚場所があの山だからだろうな。知っているか？聖杯戦争は今回で5回目だが、聖杯が呼び出される土地は4カ所ある。そのうちの一つが竜道寺であり、教会でもあるわけだ。ちなみに3回目の召喚場所は教会だったらしい。4回目はどこぞの平地だったそうだ。
へえ、戦ってれば幸せみたいな人だと思ったけど、意外に物知りなんだ、あなた。
単にマスターが小難しいやつなだけだ。お前たちの事情に関心があるわけじゃない。
けどそっか。じゃあ今回の召喚場所って1回目と同じ場所に戻ったってことなのね。
Tosaka mumbles while she ponders. Lancer watches her with delight and walks on in the dark forest. It's deep into the night and the date has long since changed. Dawn should be breaking by the time we get out of the forest and return to town. I mentally prepare myself as I walk. We will challenge Caster one more time in a few hours. I won't hesitate, even if that girl's become our enemy by then. We'll defeat Caster. I have to accept that that's the top priority right now. We head to the battlefield. No matter what waits for us at the church at daybreak, we can't stop now. Oh, we're saving, right? Okay, perfect. Over here. Before that, there's just one more conversation. When they get out of the forest and day breaks, before they head to the church, the girl tells him the fact that she kept hidden.
今のうちに言っておくけど、シローが返してくれたペンダントね。あれ、一つしかないものなの。
She doesn't say what that means, and he doesn't pursue it further. That's because this is an unnecessary matter when they are about to fight their biggest enemy, Castor. Only one pendant. The one that he found in her room and returned to her. The one that he picked up that night and put into his desk. Now is not the time to be pursuing that contradiction.
言っておかなくちゃいけないのはそれだけよ。シローが私の部屋で見つけたペンダントって、あーちゃんに返してもらったものなんだ。シローがランサーに刺されたあの日にね。私はてっきりあいつが拾ってきてくれたものだと思ってたけど。
The decisive battle is near. The roof of the tall church can be seen in the corner when looking up at the sky. I remember when I first read that part too, and it was like they were, well, lacking in subtlety. Were basically telling me Archer's true origin. Tosaka says she wants to confirm things one last time. Our roles are decided. Lancer will draw Archer and Saber away from Castor. We will use that opening to fight Castor. In response to Lancer sarcastically asking if we'd be able to defeat Castor.
まあね。私とキャスターを一対一にしてもらえれば、まず裏をかけると思う。
Tosaka replies with confidence. I don't know what she means by outwitting her. She wouldn't tell us even if we asked, so it must be a strategy that has a lower success rate if she tells her allies. Then all I need to do is fulfill Tosaka's demands. I'll keep Kuzuki from protecting Castor no matter what. I'll project his swords, however many times is necessary to do that. I close my eyes and dive inside myself. The magic circuit that flows inside me is stable. Magecraft beyond one's capacity will destroy the users themselves. The first time, half of my body went numb. The second time's projection was surprisingly easy and had no effect on my body. There's no guarantee that the third time will be the same, but I think there should be no problem if it's just copying his swords. My body is stable. Through sheer awareness alone, I have access to the magic circuits that were so difficult to create before. It's like there's a fake nerve behind my normal one, and I'm able to reverse them with just the press of a button. There's a part of me that wants to believe it's because I got used to it. I can easily prepare the swords. Projection has become my primary weapon. It improved greatly compared to 10 days ago. Not only has the control of my magic circuits improved, but even my sword technique has improved. The reason behind it, I stopped myself from thinking about the reason. It's top priority to defeat Castor and get Saber back. Asking myself stupid questions can come after the battle. My headache gets worse the closer I get to the church. It's just like when I was looking for Tosaka, but I stopped thinking about that. The sunrise is gray. The sunlight is blocked by the clouds, sealing the dawn's brightness. The sky above is cloudy. The sky is closer to black than gray and reminds me of that time 10 years ago. Is it going to start raining soon? A dull white sky. That man was standing under the cloudy sky that smelled like it had just stopped raining.
君のことだ。必ず来ると思っていた。
He stares at Tosaka with cool eyes. Tosaka doesn't say anything and stares back at Archer.
それで、用意した策は何だ？何の手立てもなしで勝負を挑む君ではあるまい。
ああ、とりあえずてめえの相手はこの俺だ。
驚いたな。私を失い、数日と経たずに新しいサーバントと契約したんだ。やれやれ、私もそうだが、君の移り気もなかなかのものだ。これは たもとを分かって正解だったかな。
I mean, in Tosaka's defense, you did betray her, you know. Ugh.
構わないわシロ。あいつの挑発になんか乗らないで。
She stops me, still staring at Archer. But it's obvious looking at her face. Even if she knows he's provoking her, it doesn't change the fact that those words hurt for Tosaka.
前から気に食わねえ野郎だと思っていたのに、てめえ少年から腐っているようだな。
ほう、裏切りは勘に触るかランサー。自分が裏切られたわけでもないのに律儀なことだ。
別にお嬢ちゃんに肩入れする気はねえよ。単にてめえみたいなサーバントがいるってことが気に食わねえだけだ。
英雄の誇りか。まったくどいつもこいつも同じようなことばかりを口にする。あのキャスターでさえそんなくだらないものを持っていてな。死した身で今さら何の栄誉を守るというのだ。正直私には君たちの考えが理解できん。
ああ、しなくていいぜ。考える手間を省いてやる。
Conversation ceases between the two of them. All that's left is Lancer's sharp intent to kill, and Archer's claimed intent to kill. They are about 10 meters apart. The knight in red and the knight in blue confronting each other is like a reenactment of that night.
ランサー
Tosaka calls to the blue black.
お前たちは
Blue
中に
back.
行け。こいつをぶっ倒したら俺も言ってやるからよ。
分かってる。けどランサー、アーチャーは。
ああ、手抜いてやる。あいつには土下座してお前に謝ってもらわなくちゃいけねえからな。
No, Lancer's always been cool to me though. Without looking back, he smiles while still staring at Archer.
ありがとう。助力に来てくれたのがあなたでよかった。
We go around the two and run to the church. Archer, the guard, casually lets us go through. No, he had to let us through. Archer's already confronting Lancer. If he gave us attention in such a situation, he would get stabbed in the chest by Lancer the next moment. Either he doesn't let us go but gets attacked by Lancer, or he lets us go but confronts Lancer. If he really is guarding this place, the choice should be obvious. We run around the courtyard and open the door to the church without hesitation. Behind us.
まったく面倒なことになっちまったな。
何がだランサー。
いや何、あんな顔で礼を言われた日には手抜きもできねえ。そういうの困るだろ。おいそれと主を裏切れない身としちゃ少しばかり眩しいってもんだ。
随分と甘いのだなランサー。君は隣の芝生は青いという言葉を知っているか。
何言ってあげる。なもん俺が知ってるわけねえだろうが。
悠長にやってる時間はないわ。ランサーがアーチャーと決着をつける前にキャスターを倒すわよ。
分かってる。ここから無駄口はなしだ。それと本当にキャスターを任せていいんだな、トサカ。
ええ、とことんまで追い詰められるだろうけど、それでも手は出さないで。シローはクズキ先生をできるだけ引き離してくれればいい。
We go past the chapel and head to the door leading to the courtyard. I won't hesitate if Tosaka says so. Most of all, I don't know if I could back Tosaka up even if she were in trouble. My opponent is Kuzuki. I wouldn't be able to dodge his first attack if I'm paying attention to Tosaka. Caster's presence is getting closer. She must not have been hiding her power since the church is surrounded by Caster's magical energy. With this amount, she must already know about our raid.
トレースオン。
I knit together the illusion as carefully as I can using the 8 steps. I got used to it, as his swords are in both hands within a minute. feel a light headache. Even though I'm getting used to it, it takes some sort of toll on my body after all. Projection is certainly affecting my body without me realizing it. And she notices. Is it my imagination? For a moment, I thought Tosaka had hung her head in sorrow while running next to me. We go down to the darkness. We run down the stairs that go underground and go out to the open area. And after that, we jump off the railing of the stairs down to the sanctuary like before.
あら、飛び降りてくるなんてまるで猿ね。何を急いでいるのだか知らないけど、人間なんだから階段ぐらいは使いなさい。
We land the sanctuary. This is supposed to be a surprise attack, but Caster greets us with composure. There is Soichiro Kuzuki standing beside her. I feel no enmity or bloodlust from him. That is his battle posture. His clear murderous intent is even hiding the dreadfulness of that man. In that regard, he's even more like an assassin than the servant assassin right now. Saber's at the altar. The situation is the same as 2 days ago. Saber is still tied from the ceiling, with her head hanging down. I'm relieved we made it, but at the same time it worries me how awfully quiet she is. I feel like Saber was a bit more in pain before. She was shaking slightly, as if breathing with her whole body to go against Caster's magical energy. But she's silent now, like she's frozen. I have a bad feeling. It's good Assassin's not here, but we won't be able to get out of here alive if my worries are true.
来たわよキャスター。いろいろ考えたんだけど、やっぱりあなたには消えてもらうことにしたわ。目障りだし邪魔だし煩わしいし、何よりその格好が気に食わないのよね。今時紫のローブなんてどこの田舎者よって感じでさ。
Tosaka insults Caster, who is in full composure, as if refusing to lose against her. Even though she's saying such things, she must actually be feeling the opposite from the way she's slowly closing in on her. Now's not the time for me to be concerned about Saber either. If Tosaka is going to close in on Caster counterclockwise, I'll close in clockwise. Caster and Kuzuki, if we're going to separate them, we have to attack them from both sides and isolate our enemies.
見逃してもらった分際で随分と勘違いをしたようね。今時の魔術師は皆こうイノシシ頭なのかしら。これではアーチャーが見限るのも当然ね。
Tosaka's insults must have worked on her, as Caster is glaring only at her. I use that opening to move. I move to the other side of Tosaka where I can attack Caster from the other side. Kuzuki watches that in silence. I knew it. There's no way that man won't notice something like this. He's aware of everything. The fact that we're trying to defeat them one by one, and the fact that Tosaka has some kind of plan. Even with that in mind, Kuzuki is letting Caster do as she wishes. It's not like Kuzuki is being manipulated by Caster. He'd become Caster's master of his own free will. But still, based on his passivity, Kuzuki is close to a puppet. A servant who is skilled in providing backup using magecraft, and a master who is skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Their roles are reversed, and I feel like their way of being is reversed as well. Caster who persistently seeks the Holy Grail, and the master protects Caster without his own will. That makes me think without a reason, that if Caster was a master, and Kuzuki was just a servant who protected her, then they wouldn't have fallen so low. Tosaka looks over at me. It means our positions are perfect. Then, the match will be settled if either of us attacks. Whether Tosaka and I get defeated or Tosaka defeats Caster before that, our battle with Caster will end here.
それじゃあ始めましょうか。あなたとの小競り合いもこれで3度目。いい加減ここで型をつけてあげる。
Tosaka steps in closer to Caster.
大きく出たわね。まさかとは思うけど、本気で私に勝てると思っているの？お嬢さん。だとしたら腕比べどころの話じゃないわ。今回も見逃してあげるから、まずその性根を直してらっしゃいな。
そんなの勝てるに決まってるじゃない。だってそうでしょ？ あなたみたいな三流魔術師に一流である私が負けるはずないんだもの。
そうなら仕方がないわ。その増長厳しくしつける必要があるよね、お嬢さん。
They braced themselves at the same time. With a few meters between them, they looked like mirror images. That is the signal. I attacked the defenseless caster. And of course, I'm blocked by Kuzuki's blow. The ghost-like assassin is in front of me. I don't have the composure to watch over Tosaka and Caster's fight. He already knows my intentions. He will not let me buy time. Letting out the snake that cornered even Saber, Soichiro Kuzuki comes to take my life. I can hold him off for 1 minute at most. That should be the same for Tosaka. Originally, this was a battle with no chance of victory had the roles not been reversed. There's no way we could win against enemies who surpass us in both hand-to-hand combat and magecraft. But looking at it the other way, we can at least put up a fight. Tosaka would be killed in an instant if she fought Kuzuki, and Caster would end me just by pointing at me if I fought her. On the other hand, we might not be able to win, but at least we won't get killed in an instant. In other words, this battle is not about how we can defeat them, but a battle like walking on a tightrope to see how long we can hold off an opponent who is superior to us. That's not much of a plan, but I see where you're coming from. The lethal weapons cross. The twin swords and the spear repeatedly attack, trying to take each other's necks. Those attacks are continuous, without hesitation. Every blow that is released is meant to kill. Lancer is not an exception. Even though he told Rin Tosaka, his ally, that he would take it easy, that becomes secondary once the battle starts. It merely means that if his spear happens to miss Archer's heart and it does not kill him instantly, then he won't finish him off. Even in that case, his enemy will die, but Lancer would just need to drag Archer to Rin Tosaka before he does. Lancer does not care what happens after that. The Crimson Demonic Spear invades the enemy's territory. The spear breaks through Archer's defense each time it is thrust. It is different from the battle from before. Archer cannot handle Lancer's attacks that he was able to dodge that night. It is only natural. This is the second battle. Lancer was bound by a certain command spell. To learn his enemy master's strengths, his master told Lancer,
お前は全員と戦い。だが倒すな。一度目の相手からは必ず生還しろ。
That's the only command he was given. He obeyed such a ridiculous command, and his no-holds-barred battle had finally come. Therefore, there is no way that it is the same as the last battle. There's nothing binding Lancer and Archer is now fighting the fastest heroic spirit out of all the serpents. Anguish escapes from Archer for a second time. Even his hawk-like eyes cannot follow Lancer's spear. The spear's trajectory is no more than a point to start with. That was changing into a flash of light now. He cannot see the tip of the spear closing in on him. Even the movements of Lancer's arms and legs are speeding up to reach the realm that is no longer visible. He was able to dodge this much because he knew Lancer's spear from the last battle. He's doing what he can now, using the fact that he is inferior to Lancer when it comes to hand-to-hand combat as a weapon to handle his fierce attacks. He's adjusting to where he gets attacked. The Knight in Red Cloak limits the attacks by creating fatal openings himself. Of course, he will die if he does not dodge these attacks. But, if he is going to die getting wounds all over the body from trying to avoid an instant death, he'd rather die an instant death with all limbs intact. Otherwise, it will have been for nothing. Fortunately, Lancer is still underestimating Archer. No, he is simply immersed in the battle itself. If they're gonna keep on killing each other with just a difference in ability, then he can think of another 30 ways of showing openings. Predicting the enemy's movements using information gained previously, and breaking the status quo from cultivated battle experience. That's the mind of steel called the Mind's Eye that is gained from training. This is nothing deemed as extraordinary. This is the only skill that he possesses. and is not an innate like Saber's instinct, but it's a simple weapon that anyone can gain from training in a frank manner. Lancer withdraws his spear and stops for a bit.